Welcome here for Punch Out Boxing. I'm delighted to be speaking to Adam Moralee again. It's been a few months. Things have moved on. Not quite how you said they would. But absolute banger of a fight. Tell me, what's the line of thinking for risking his very strong position?
Look, there's two ways, there's two schools of thought, right? You either sit on your hands and wait till your mandatory comes up and either don't fight or fight people who are a couple levels below you, or you go for it and fight the best out there. Joe's always been that boxer. Joe said to me, Adam, I want to fight the best. Who's in the WBO top 15 to defend this belt? Because that's what he's got to do if he wants a defence. We went through it. ZHILEI was the highest available contender, the best fight, and we went for it.
Great for us fans. I just got that horrible thought of what happened to Dillian White when he tried to do the same thing, eventually came a cropper. Obviously, you got confidence in your man, but you saw with Chris Eubank, even the toughest of chins can crack.
Of course. But you know what you've got to think, what are we in this? What's Joe in this sport for? He wants to be the best. He wants to be number one. And if he wants to be number one, he's got to be able to beat someone like ZHILEI. I think ZHILEI's a top level. I think he's a fringe world level contender, world level contender. He should be in Ergovic's mandatory position, in my opinion. That's where he should be right now. So you're talking about someone who should be mandatory for a world title, but Joe Joyce has got to beat him if he wants to become undisputed.
Would it be fair to say that in a way, Zhang is probably more dangerous than, say, someone like Usyk? Not as skilled, no one would dare suggest that, but because of that big left hand.
I think he's a more concussive puncher, and it's more likely that someone like Zhang would knock Joe out than Usyk. I think that's fair. But I think as an overall fight, no, Usyk's much more difficult, much more dangerous fight. Usyk is an A plus level opponent, probably with Fury, the best out there. So although it's more dangerous to fight Zhang, definitely Usyk's a harder fight.
How frustrating is it for Joe and for yourself as his manager, just trying to negotiate this absolute labyrinthian political situation of the heavyweight division? Um, it seems like he's just pushed further and further back in the queue with all the shenanigans around trying to make the undisputed and all these mandatories, and then Wilder's getting his name in the mix. I mean, are you tearing your hair out?
No, not at all. I mean, if you look at where we actually are, the only people who can fight for a world title right now are Ergovic, Dubois, Joyce against Usyk. Fury can fight who he likes. He can have whatever voluntaries he wants. But Usyk, his time for voluntaries on those three belts are up. The rotation system is what it is. WBA, IBF, WBO. WBA will happen in July. The IBF will happen around September, October time. And Joe's mandatory will be called December, January. Yes, it's frustrating when you have undisputed fights because effectively stops the clock on those mandatories. But right now, we're exactly where we want to be. We know we've got that fight at the end of the year against Usyk or whoever's holding the belt. And in the meantime, we want the biggest fights. We want Tyson Fury in the summer.
Okay, I mean, Tyson Fury, most think he's the best in the world, so that would be a suitable alternative. But again, Fury is so unreliable. How confident are you that you can make that?
I think, listen, you can never be confident you're going to make a fight with Tyson Fury. He does what he wants. He's the A side. He's got, I don't know, 10 times as many Instagram followers as Joe. He's much, much more well known, but I think they're very evenly matched in the ring. I can't be confident of making that fight, but I'm quietly expectant of it. Same promoter, in-house deal. I've negotiated with them for years. They've negotiated with Tyson for years. It's a really makeable fight. I think it will happen.
And you're confident that Joe can beat him? I know Fury's rightfully considered the best, but I just wonder all this constant retirement, the obfuscation that he's in, he's out. Is that a sign? Is his heart really in it?
I think Tyson Fury's the best in the division. I really believe that. I think him v Joe Joyce is an unbelievable 50-50 fight. I think you'll have a sequel. I think it'll be tremendous for the boxing public. We've got to make it happen.
Yes, please. I mean, did Joe ever have words about, well, why is the guy that I beat conclusively, why is he getting a crack at Usyk before me? Or does he just accept, well, this is how the politics of the sport works?
For sure, Joe's mentioned it. Joe's spoken about it. His friends and family have spoken about it. And to the outside world, you're thinking, what's going on here? Joe beat that guy. Why does he get Usyk first? But it's politics, it's boxing. It's the rotation system. It just happens to work WBA, IBF, WBO. If it worked the other way round, we wouldn't be having this conversation. It's not Joe's fault that he's got the BO, not the BA. So yeah, it's frustrating, but we know we've got a date now at the end of the year which we can work towards, and in the middle we're going to do big things.
So he's never had complaints that Frank is giving favouritism to his younger boy.
Look, I think before the Dubois fight, it was clear who Queensbury were promoting the most. I think after that fight now, have a look who Queensbury promote the most, who gets the adverts, who gets the billboards, you know, their entire social media feed. Queensbury are an incredible promoter.
Yeah, indeed, they brought us some great nights. I mean, on for Saturday night, us fans, it's mouth-watering for us. Two big heavyweights. They both can hit and are, if we're honest, hittable. So we're looking for fireworks.
There will be fireworks. I mean, we can try and get Joe to change his game slightly, perhaps, if we're being very tactical. But ultimately, with Joe and with Zhang, you've got two boxers who really, their natural game plan is to head to the centre of the ring, and that's why there'll be fireworks.
And they're both genuine big heavyweights. None of these cruiserweights who've done some. Want to give a final prediction? I mean, most people seem to say that if Zhang can't dent Joe early, we've seen him fade. He's 40 years old. The sensible prediction is Joe gets to him after the halfway stage.
Yeah, I think I'll go with that. I think you'll see Joe's juggernaut engine kick in rounds 4 or 5 onwards, and expect the full juggernaut to be seen about 6, 7.
Yeah, okay. Like I said, mouth-watering prospect. I'm really excited. And Joe's become a real fan favourite.
He's authentic because he is who he is. You know, he's never pretended to be someone he's not. And at the start, he's a relatively quiet, introverted guy. And people thought he's boring, he's stupid, doesn't say anything. They all took the piss out of him. But now, it's like a friend you've known for years, and you actually think, actually, he's really intelligent and he's funny. He's just a quiet guy. And now that's coming out of him, and people are going to love him.
I think nerds like me can relate to him. Think, yeah, you know, a cultured guy like that who does art and plays computer games, and he can fight as well.
Yeah, absolutely. He's not the biggest talker in the world, but as he moves on, you'll see he comes out of his shell more and more. By the time he fights a Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, saw some of his comments yesterday to Dubois, to Joshua. He's now really getting angry and telling people what he thinks because he's more comfortable.
All right, we look forward to Saturday night. Can I just ask about some of your other fighters? Florian Marku seems to have gone quiet. What's happening with him?
He had a hand injury. Hand injury is fixed now. He was on Sky Sports News yesterday. He's back out May, June time.
What sort of direction? Looking to get into the world title mix?
Yeah, big. Well, I want him to be in big, fan-friendly fights against English opponents, good talkers, and Florian can really start to show his real. You know, I don't think he's moved on skill-wise, performance-wise since the Chris Jenkins performance. I know Chris just boxed Cyrus. That was a great fight, and I think people don't think Florian. They don't know what his level is. We know what his level is, and I want him to show the public that.
Okay. Oh, well, like you said, get him in with some talkers. The press conferences are always good fun. Young Junaid, moving really quick, even though he doesn't need to. He's all of 20 years old in a red hot division. Do you want to start moving him towards 50-50 type fights?
No, I think Junaid's one of those fighters where I want him to come up the old-fashioned way. I like a central area title for him, and then we'd look at, you know, maybe an English title, a British title. He's got time on his hands, supremely talented, got Grant Smith coaching him. So yeah, we can take our time a little bit more, but I think he should go the old-fashioned route. But boy, do we have to hold him back. He wants everyone now.
Yeah, and well, super welterweight, there is no shortage of good quality fights, even at that local level. So
They want the Charlos now, I think, Junaid.
he wants Charlo now.
Yeah, probably.
Well, that's what we want. Hey, look, it's good. Let some of our talents, let them talk big for once. And John Hedges, the gentleman, what's the plan with him?
Yeah, he's had a few hand issues. He's recovering well from them. And yeah, we're just going to push him on again. I think now's the time for John to be in more 8-rounders, 10-rounders. Really start. He's 21 years old now. Really start to push him on. But we've got time with John.
Yeah, light heavyweight, another stacked division, but traditionally a more mature fighters division in that they're all over 30.
Yeah, They are. So John's got, you know, a lot ahead of him. He's growing into his body. He's getting heavier. His physique's changing, and he's a tremendous boxer. And I just don't think people have seen the best of him.
And the Norfolk Nightmare, Tommy Fletcher, again, I've mentioned to him potential rivals in the same stable, young alloys. Yeah, I mean, cruiserweight, another stacked division. Is he going to stay at the weight?
Yeah, he will. I think eventually in his life he'll probably move up to heavyweight. But Tommy Fletcher's going to be out in the next couple of months on a good card to showcase his power to BT again.
Do you think you'd ever have him try and get him a show up in Norfolk? I think those country folk deserve a show as well.
I think Fabio's with Matchroom, but you got Fabio from Ipswich, Tommy from Thetford, I think. Yeah, maybe Matchroom and Queensbury could combine on an East Anglia show. Great idea. Great idea.
Yeah, that part of the world, yeah, you would need some cooperation to get the big fights on. All right, Adam, absolute pleasure getting your insight as ever. And yeah, again, thanks for putting this show on for Saturday. We're looking forward to it.
Thanks for your time.